Hi, my name is E.C. Dreyer, and I'm the co-creator for Ring Runner Flight of the Sages, which is really just a fancy way of saying that I'm one of the two dudes working on this project, the other being my brother. Now, we hope to release this game sometime in the first or second quarter of 2012, which means you should have time to play it just before the end of the world. So at least there's that to look forward to. One of the main reasons we've decided to make this blog so far ahead of the release of the game is because we want to make sure that people have ample opportunity to find out what makes Ring Runner Flight of the Sages different from any other space shooter they've ever played before. Over time, we'll be highlighting most of the facets of the game. We're going to begin with something that might seem a little mundane, but is quite central to the gameplay of a space shooter, which is the camera. So one of the main limitations of the overhead camera featured in most space shooters is simply view range. Can't see very far ahead of you. As you can see, with a very basic camera setup, this is quite a problem, and you typically have to resort to putting a little arrow on the edge of the screen or not being able to see your enemy at all. And this is especially a problem when you have a widescreen and the top and bottom edges are so close to your actual player-controlled ship. And so we decided that we were definitely going to have to do something to improve this. First thing we did was, whenever you don't have a target, and we'll discuss the targeting system in a later blog post, when you don't have a target, you're going to see the camera kind of pan ahead of you. Basically, you're going to be able to see more of what's ahead instead of what's behind you. When you do have a target, the camera becomes a little bit more sophisticated. It zooms in and zooms out, depending on the distance to your target. And this is the predicted distance based on the speed of the target. So it'll be a little more intelligent than if we were just interpolating the distance between you and your target. Of course, everything is eased, so the camera doesn't jerk around if you decide to target something else or lose your target. And while the enemy can still get away from you, of course, it's going to help a whole lot. It actually doubles your effective view distance. So like I said, this might seem pretty minor, and it is just a small element of the game, but we're taking the approach that you're going to want to play this game for more than 30 minutes. So we're putting a lot of effort into making sure that the gameplay is absolutely solid. And that's going to wrap things up for our Camera Expo. Next time we will be discussing procedural planets. And to quote Carl Sagan, there are billions and billions of possibilities.